to be finally bringing you guys my updated curly hair routine. I've been waiting to do this because I was waiting on some shipment of product and I was waiting till I got everything situated, and I wanted to get my hair done as well. So if it looks a little bit darker, that is why I did just get it dyed a little bit darker and got my roots touched up. This is the first time I've washed it since I got it dyed, so it's still a lot darker than it's actually going to end up. I get a lot of questions about my hair color. It's basically just a really dark auburn, burgundy, brown. She kind of mixes a lot of different hues and stuff like that, but I asked her to go a little bit darker this time, and I really like how it turned out. You can really see it in the sunlight, so I'll insert some pictures and stuff if you're interested of the actual color and stuff. It really shows that more that burgundy red, which I love, but it's not like too bright either. It definitely has some of that brunette in there too, which I like. So I'm going to be walking you through the steps that I use to style my hair start to finish from when I get out of the shower. I've done several curly hair routines in the past, so if you're interested in more products and stuff, I'll have those linked down below. And I'm also going to give you guys lots of curly hair tips and stuff, and I do have another video as well on how to style curly hair where I go into more detail on tons of tips and techniques and stuff on styling your hair to really shrink up your ringlets and stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. So if y'all have followed my channel for a while, you know I like to usually stick to whole curly lines. I feel like they work best together. So recently I have been loving the Living Proof curl line, and I never try Living Proof stuff. I know this is like Jennifer Aniston's brand, I've heard. I've always seen it at Ulta, really interested in it, and I was completely shocked at the quality when I tried it. I've been using these for months now, and they're definitely one of my absolute favorites, especially the styling product that I use. It's my absolute favorite that I've ever used. It just is so nourishing, and they're just so luxurious. I don't know how else to describe the products other than that they are just so luxurious. So this is the first thing I use to actually wash my hair, and this is a Living Proof Curl Conditioning Wash with extended curl memory. It says it gently cleanses, deeply conditions, and perfectly balanced care. It's a non-lathering and sulfate-free shampoo. So this is like using the co-washing method. It's actually a conditioner texture. It's a very thick conditioner. So once you put this into your hair, it doesn't lather or anything, so you just want to kind of massage it into your scalp and through all the way down to the ends. But once you put your head under the water, you do get a little bit of a lather to where you feel like it is cleansing your hair. And once you actually rinse it out, that's when you can feel like the product's coming out and stuff. So it definitely works. I've never been a fan of this method before. I know I've talked about the co-washing method on my channel. I never really liked it because I felt like it didn't clean my hair. This is the first one that I've been really shocked with, and now I'm like in love with it. I feel like my curls are a whole lot less damaged looking, they're a lot less frizzy, and I just love it. So I do follow that up with the curl detangling rinse. That actually takes out the tangles a lot. The conditioning wash, it really takes out my tangles. I can feel how smooth my hair is afterwards. But if I still need more detangling, I use the detangling rinse. And this is water activated detangling, creates definition, preps curls for frizz-free styles. So when you first put this on, it actually smells like a margarita. It smells really good. This is clear, so it looks like a shampoo, but it's actually like the detangler. When you first put it on, it doesn't feel like it's detangling until you actually let it sit. And then once I use my wide tooth comb, which this is the comb that I actually use to detangle my hair in the shower. You want to be really gentle with your hair when you're detangling, and you also want to let this sit for a little while. So I let this sit while I wash my body and shave and everything, and then it just works perfectly at detangling my curls, and then it feels really nice afterwards. So I really like that combination. This works excellent at that. So on days when I don't want to use the conditioning wash and when I do feel like I need a cleanse, I do this probably once a week. I'll use the Aveda Be Curly shampoo. This is a lathering shampoo. It is sulfate free. It has like a more mild sulfate in it, I think. Sodium cocoa sulfate, so it's not as harsh on your hair. It has a lot of natural ingredients, and you guys know I love the Aveda Be Curly line. I still stand by it, and I think it's a great line. I've just been kind of mixing the Living Proof products into this as well, but I still use this about once a week when I do want to just remove more stuff and feel like I'm cleansing my hair more, I guess, because it does have that lather. So when I use the Be Curly shampoo, I use the conditioner that goes with it, which is amazing. This is so hydrating on your hair and stuff, and it's great at detangling as well. So that's what I use for like just once a week. I like kind of mixing it up too and just trying different things. That way my hair doesn't get so used to the products, I guess. So then once I get out of the shower, I use the Living Proof No Frizz, well the frizz is like marked out, leave-in conditioner. It says nourishes and adds moisture, tames frizz and unmanageable hair, weightlessly blocks humidity, and no heavy silicones or oils. So not using silicones is really important when you are using a sulfate-free shampoo, especially a co-washing method. You don't want to be using products that are really going to cause buildup because it's not going to be able to remove it. So I love how this doesn't have silicones in it. This is great even if you don't have curly hair. Anyone can use this product. It's just a really great leave-in conditioner. And it just makes my hair feel so hydrated, especially after using the detangling rinse. It doesn't feel like I have conditioner in my hair, I guess. Like my hair is detangled, but it doesn't feel super like hydrated, I guess, so I like using this afterwards. It just feels amazing on my hair, and it really helps my ends and stuff too that get dry. Another thing I wanted to mention is when my hair is still wet in the shower, like this is before I get out and everything, and I'm like wringing it out, after I've kind of wringed the water out, I just take my hands and I kind of go through it, like go through the curls, and that's just to break it up. That's one of like the biggest curly hair tips I can give, is don't leave your hair like completely stuck to your head and pulled out straight. You want to kind of fluff them up, that way your curls can really shrink up, because your curls start actually defining and shrinking up as soon as they start drying. So that's right when you get done washing it. So that's what I like to do before I actually wrap it up in a t-shirt. And I do use a t-shirt to dry my hair. That's another major tip. If you're still using a towel and you have curly hair, I highly recommend just using a plain white t-shirt. It's amazing. You won't have as much frizz. It doesn't like soak up too much water, and having the right balance of moisture in your hair when you're applying your products is also going to make a big difference. So I do the leave-in conditioner, and then I use the curl defining styling cream, and this has extended curl memory, meaning it's going to help shrink up your curls to what they're supposed to be. It's light hold, extra conditioning, frizz and humidity defense, and this doesn't have silicones in it as well, so it's going to be great paired with the conditioning wash and all that kind of stuff. So if you'll notice, as I'm applying this to my hair, I kind of use a weird method. I don't like pull my fingers through my hair, and I don't like over scrunch. I'm just really gentle. I kind of just like pat it over my hair, and I sort of twist it when I get to the ends, and that really helps define my curls, and it keeps them from getting pulled apart. I don't like running my fingers all the way through my hair, and I also do not like to comb it after I'm out of the shower. So I only do the combing when it's soaking wet, and then I just use my fingers from there. You don't want to just pull apart your curls, because then it's going to end up a lot poofier, and it's not going to be as defined. So I just kind of run it over my hair without actually pulling anything out, and I kind of scrunch up the ends a little bit too. So I do apply the leave-in conditioner and the styling cream when my hair is completely wet. Like after I've had it in my t-shirt for probably, I don't know, 5 minutes, that's when I like to apply it. So then I will apply those products, let them sit while I'm doing my makeup, which is usually at least about 20 minutes. I find that's the best amount of time to where my hair starts to dry. So once my ends start to look a little bit dry, that's when I will actually use my diffuser. Using a diffuser has basically changed my life with curly hair, because it gives it so much volume on the top, which you need to avoid like that triangle shaped head, and it really helps shrink up my curls. I hate the way they look when it air dries. To me, it's just flat on the top, and they don't look as defined. So you can even use it on the cold setting too if you don't want to use heat on your hair. But this is a diffuser attachment I got off of Amazon, and this is just on my Chi Miss Universe hairdryer. You want to make sure you use a blow dryer that has a low setting and that it gets hot too, unless you want to use the cold setting. So you want it to have a very low airflow. You don't want to be blowing a lot of air, because that's what's going to create frizz, and it's really important to just have a very low, soft airflow. So I just put this at my roots, I push it up. I always start at my roots for this, and I just slowly let it dry. And when you pull it out from your head, you want to make sure you're not like pulling curls out and stuff. And then I go on the ends and everything, and it also helps to kind of angle it towards my head, that way I'm not blowing frizz like upwards to create more frizz. I just kind of put it at the end and just focus it towards my face, I guess, which really helps to reduce the amount of frizz. So I do that all over until it's basically 95% dry, probably 90% dry. I don't let it dry completely, like my hair still feels a little wet, which is fine with me. I like it about. But if you do have more fine curls and you don't need as much hold, I would definitely recommend checking out the Living Proof Curl Enhancing Styling Mousse. So I just used a little bit of this after I blow dried my hair, just to kind of tame down any frizz that might have formed, or any areas that still need some more hold. I just use a little bit of this just to kind of finish it off, kind of like a hairspray. But I don't like using this all over my hair. It doesn't seem to work with my curl type, and they explain that like in their product guide and stuff, of how depending on your curl type, I think I have like a 3B or 3C, I can't remember the exact type, but I have videos on how to determine your curl type, and I talk about that kind of stuff in that video, so I'll link that for you down below. But if you know the type of curls that you have, as far as the density of them and how fine your hair is or thick your hair is, you'll know the right products to use. So I do recommend using this as your styling product if you have more fine hair. It is pretty sticky. You have to work quick with it. Once it starts to dry, I noticed that it will stick to my hands, and that will create frizz. So I have to work kind of quick and just kind of pull it through, and then do a little bit on the other side, and it works great. So you only want to use a little bit of this too. I don't want to use, definitely want to avoid using too much. And this is silicone free as well, which is awesome. So that's kind of like my finishing thing. Sometimes I'll use the Aveda Be Curly Curl Enhancing Hairspray if I really want to finish it off, if I have more frizz. But I don't mind having a little bit of frizz. It doesn't really bother me because it looks more natural, I guess. I don't want it to look crunchy or wet, so a little bit doesn't bother me, and I don't feel like I have a whole lot. It's kind of hard to see it inside, but I do still have a little bit. So that is all I do on a daily basis, but I did want to mention what I actually do on second day hair. I've really been trying hard to not wash and style my hair every single day. So on the second day, I've been using the Garnier Fructis Curl Shape Defining Spray Gel. I never thought I would like a spray gel, but I started using this and it's amazing on my second day hair. So basically, when I'll take a shower and I'll just put my hair up in like a bun or use a clip or something. That way the steam kind of helps shrink up my curls more, but I don't get my hair wet or anything. So then when I get out of the shower, I kind of scrunch it with some water. Maybe I'll even use like some water mixed with a conditioner just for a little bit of detangling. I'll kind of detangle with my fingers, and then that's when I use this product. Occasionally I'll add some more of the defining style cream, but I find I don't really need it on the second day. I still have pretty good hold. But I just spray some of this into my hand and I go around and scrunch. I do a lot of scrunching with this product and I just let it air dry. Occasionally I might need to diffuse if they're looking really stringy and stuff, the curls, but for the most part I just can let it air dry. Once I'm done with my makeup, then I can go back in and see where I need more product once it's dry. That's another big thing with styling curly hair. Another big tip I like to say is wait. Make sure you style your hair before or most of it before you like leave and stuff. That way you can see how it looks when it's dried, if you need to touch up areas and stuff. That way it's not like when you air dry and just go out the door, it might look not as good later. So I like to wait until it's dry before I can see. So I don't have any problems with this causing buildup on my hair because I know it's not like designed to use with sulfate-free shampoo. This doesn't bother me at all, I guess because it's pretty lightweight. This does give me good hold, which for the summertime, like when I'm at the beach and the pool and stuff, I really like using this because it does give me pretty good hold. I don't use too much. And that's kind of the key with keeping it from looking too crunchy. So I'll put this in a little bit before I do my makeup, and then once I'm done, if it still looks too crunchy, like once it's started to dry, then I'll just take a little bit of water and just kind of scrunch it, and it will kind of break up that like hard crunchy feeling to where it doesn't look too wet or anything. So I really like using that product on second day curls. I have a whole video on how to refresh second day curls, and I'll link that for you down below, but in that video is before I kind of like figured it out, I guess, and I feel like I did too many steps. But then now I've kind of found an easier way, and I just use that one product and maybe some styling cream too, and I'm good to go. I don't even diffuse it. So you can still check out that video though if you want some more tips. I just wanted to quickly talk about deep conditioning. I do really love the Aveda Deep Moisturizing Mask that they have. This is the Dry Remedy one. I finished up the, I think it was called Damage Remedy one. That one was amazing. They're super thick and luxurious, so I tend to do a deep conditioner at least once a week, and I'll leave them on for like 30 minutes or so in the shower. So this one's really great. And then I've also been trying out using castor oil. I've also tried coconut oil. I know I never did a video on it like I said I was going to, but I've kind of just have like mixed feelings about these, I guess. I think they're great on curly hair, especially if you have really thick, like frizzy, damaged curly hair. These are great. But whenever I use the oil treatments, I lose a lot of hair afterwards, and that kind of bothers me. I think because it's so thick on your hair, and then you're shampooing it, and then when I detangle it to get the tangles out and stuff, I just end up with a lot of hair falling out. But my hair does feel amazing afterwards, and I love using these. So I've been testing out the castor oil. I've heard it's supposed to help with hair growth, so I've been trying to like track my hair growth with this. I haven't seen a huge difference yet though as far as length, but it is really hydrating and stuff. And I use this on my eyelashes too every night, so that's a great one. So I got this off of Amazon. I'll link you guys to it if you're interested. And I'll also link you to some coconut oil too, because that one's great as well. So I just wanted to quickly mention what I actually sleep in. This is a major part of my curly hair routine, and this is a satin lined hair cap, or they're called slaps for a nickname. I mentioned this in my last hair tutorial that I did, but it's basically a satin lined hair hat that you sleep in. I've tried different ones. I really like this one though because it is so thick and it really protects my hair. I just kind of twist my hair up into the back, and I like to kind of go like this with it. That way the friction is on the underside. That way when I let my hair down, it still looks great. And this is essential for having good second day curls. So if you don't sleep in anything and you just have the friction against your cotton pillowcase, it really creates a lot of frizz and a lot of tangles. I've just noticed such a big difference. If you don't have one of these with curly hair, I highly recommend it because you'll see such a difference. Even if you don't like to do second and third day hair, it just helps reduce the amount of tangles in the shower the next day. And I'm actually going to be having a giveaway for you guys. So I have an extra one of these. I'm just going to send it to one of you all. So to enter, all you have to do is just leave me a comment down below and tell me anything you want. You can tell me what your favorite hair product is, your favorite curly hair tip, even if you have straight hair, because anyone can wear these. It doesn't have to be curly hair. It's just great for hair in general. You can tell me what your favorite hair tip is, or even if you need help, if you don't have a hair tip, if you need help or a suggestion or anything, just let me know that too. So you can tell me anything you want in the comments. I'll have opportunities too for extra entries where you can share on social media or follow me on social media, and you'll have more chances of winning. There's just going to be one winner though for this giveaway, and I'll have the details in the description box below. But it was so sweet for the company to provide me with more than one of them to give you guys, because I think it's going to truly make a difference in your hair care routine. I know you guys are going to love it. So one thing I wanted to mention with these is to avoid them from falling off your hair. I like to keep my hair down low, so when I used to use a cap, I would put it all the way up on top, but I found that that kind of pulled it and made it, you know, come off easier throughout the night. And I also wash this once a week, and I also dry it, so putting it in the dryer helps kind of shrink it up to where it stays on tighter on my head. And I know they are working, I think, to create more sizes of these, so people with smaller heads and stuff will be able to get a smaller size. But this one has been working great for me. I absolutely love it, and I highly recommend this. Probably my #1 tip for curly hair, to avoid just frizz. That, along with like using a cotton t-shirt and using a wide tooth comb, all that kind of stuff makes such a difference. So that is it for my curly hair routine. I feel like I've been talking too long. If I missed anything and tips, that sort of thing, I'm sure I forgot something. I'll be sure to have those on my blog. I'll have a list of all the products that I use on the blog post that goes with this video, which will be linked down below, along with the giveaway details, so you can go to that blog post for more information and everything. If I can find any discount codes and stuff for you all, I'll be sure to put them down below. I do have a, I think, 10% off discount code for the Satin Lined Cap, so I'll be sure to put that down below if you guys are interested in purchasing one, so you can get some money off. So good luck to everyone entering. Be sure to check out the other videos I mentioned if you want more curly hair tips and information about sulfate-free and that sort of thing, and silicones. I'll have those all down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye, everyone. Oh wow, that's a really nice mauve color. That is so pretty. I love how it's sheer. I really like lipsticks that are really comfortable and moisturizing on the lips. It's a really nice, like, mauve-y color. This is a great